Hi everybody, welcome here. I'm Martin Semerad, body language coach, and I've been asked to create a video on how to prepare for a job interview, how to act on a job interview, and how to just to nail it. So welcome here and let's start. We are going to talk about 3 sections in this video. The first one will be about preparation, how to prepare for a job interview, how to know what does it take to be good, suitable for that position, and how to practice that. The second part will be about performing, how to go to that job interview and nail it and be the best version of yourself. And the third last part will be about observing, how to know whether you are doing good or not. What to observe in the person who is interviewing you to know whether you are going to get to the second stage or you're going to get the job or you are not going to get even a call from them. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and let's dive in. So there is a first point of the first point of preparation part. You need to answer yourself a question that is vital for you to go to that job interview. Do you really want that job? Do you really want to work for that person? Do you really want to work for that person? Can you imagine yourself sitting 8 hours a day in that job and do it? Will you love it? Won't you? And the reason why is that so important is that if you don't want that job, why to apply for it? I understand there might be some difficulties, financial or just emotional, that you are not working, but if you don't really want it, do not go on that job interview, because you'll be sabotaging yourself in getting that job. That's the first thing. And the second thing, you won't feel yourself, you won't feel authentic, and that's the most important thing in life. If you don't want to go on that job interview and you still want to carry on watching this video, you're welcome to do that. You can just be my guest and go on, but just think about that and feel if you really want it or not. If you want to get that job, then please continue watching this video, because you will find out how to master yourself, how to prepare yourself to get that job, and it will be good for you. So this is the first point. Have you answered your question? So when we finally know whether we really want that job or not, now there is a time to prepare for that position. Know what is the position, what you are applying for. When you're, for example, applying for a manager position, you have to know what does it take to be a manager, and you already have to have some of these traits. And if you don't have them, you have to build them. So you can brainstorm what does it take to be a good manager and try to practice that. You can start applying for a sales position, for example. So you need to know what does it take to be a good salesman, and you need to practice these things. If you want to apply for a sales assistant, for example, shop assistant, like normally working on a floor in shop, you need to know what does it take to be a good person like this and practice that. If you can't find it in your head, you can find it on Google, for example, and ask people who are already doing that and then practice it. You actually have to take action on these things you have written on that paper, and it will help you. As I already said, you have to be ready for that position. You have to already have these personality traits, and then your chances to be hired is much higher above the people who are not ready for that position as you are. And that is the tip number 2. The important part of this preparation is to actually take action on what you've written. And for example, when I applied for a job in London, it was like 2 years ago, and it was a preparing manager position in a sales business. So I thought about what does it take to be a good person, same like they are, and I went through in my head in a mental training, what does it take? And I trained that quite a lot, and then I got to the second stage of the interview and I got that job. So that's the reason why I'm telling, why is it important to practice, to actually take action on these things or on these thoughts that you might have on that position. Because if you won't be hired. You have to be ready for that position already, and not to expect them to turn you into ready person. There is a second point we are getting to, and which is a performing. It's actually going to that job interview and doing the best you can and being the best version of yourself and actually get that job. So we already have prepared everything, we have everything ready for that job interview, and now we actually have to go there and nail it. So the first advice for myself is that you have to act upon the preparations you've done. You've trained how to be bold, how to be talkative for a salesperson. You've trained how to be creative and how to dress creatively for a marketing position. And you've trained how to lead people, how to inspire people for a manager's position or CEO's positions. But you also trained how to sell when you are applying for just a shop assistant and whatever position you are applying for. You've trained that, and now you have to prove it to the person who's relevant for your job. And it doesn't matter whether it's an owner of the company or just a hiring person, just a personalist in that company. You have to prove yourself the best to every single person in that company, because when you are new there, they all have stronger words than you have, and so you have to be like the best version of yourself and the most convenient version of yourself for that position, of course. So that's the first thing. So now we are getting to the second point, where we are going to list some vital important rules for any human interaction, especially in a job interview, because on a job interview you need to impress people, you need to be the best possible version of yourself, and these are the tips that are suitable for everybody. Now, it doesn't really matter the differentialities we mentioned above, so just focus on these couple tips and you will do great if you will follow them. The first point is keep yourself clean. You have to keep yourself clean and you have to keep your clothes clean. This is what creates the first impression. We don't have enough time to talk about first impression right now, but it's very important. You don't want to mess that up. The second point is maintain and steady eye contact. Eye contact is something that tells to that person you are looking to the eyes with that you respect that person, and you also call for respect. You are a respectable person, that you acknowledge the person is standing there and you know that he is standing there. So at the moment you walk in the room, find eye contact with that person who is sitting behind the table or with every single person that is in the room. Do not walk in the room and stare to the ground, because that calls for submissive behavior and nobody wants to really hire a submissive person. So maintain an eye contact while you are talking, speaking, entering the room, walking around the room. Not all the time, of course. It has to be healthy amount of eye contact, but I know that you know what's the healthy eye contact. Just don't diminish your value in front of the people sitting in the committee who is deciding whether you are gonna get that job. Third point is good firm handshake. The handshake, not mentioning the corona crisis right now, is very important because it's the first physical contact with that person. And if you have a weak, like a dead fish handshake, you are telling that you do not respect yourself, you're not like that worthy for them as well. It's a subconscious sign, so they are not going to pay that much attention on it while listing, for example, why they didn't hire you, but you have to be very, very aware of handshake. Another point is that you have to be confident. You have to have confident body posture, body language. So it means shoulders are pushed back, head is erect, the stance is usually like a shoulder wide, your hands are on the eyes of the other person, so you are like answering the unasked question by brain about the safety and security in that situation. It conveys very important message of knowing who you are and what you bring to that company, to that employer. So think about that, have a confident body language. And if you don't know what does it take, actually, you can send me a message and I will like forward you to the article I've written, or just ask Roxani. And she will definitely tell you what is it body language, what does it take to have a confident body language. Another point is while you are sitting, do not sit at the back of the chair and lean away from that person. Like this comfortable sitting is not very attractive. It's not something that calls for attention, that calls for saying, hey, I want to be like that person. I want that person to work for me. He's just some lazy guy over there. So sit on the first third of the chair with erect body, still this confident posture, and this will tell that employer that you know who you are, that you are confident. And the last and very, very, very important point, I don't know how to stress that enough, is smile. Smile a lot, smile every time you can and every time it's convenient, of course, but smile because it's the most powerful body language clue ever. Doesn't matter what you think, but the smile is very important. It can melt people's heart, it can change the no to yes, it can do a lot. It can also make you money. So smile a lot, and that's it from this budget of advices. So we are now getting to the third point of our video, which is observing. Observing body language on a job interview won't help you to get that job, but will make you calmer in expecting how you are doing at that job interview. It helped me a lot that I could read body language on my job interviews, because at some of them I was able to read and expect whether I am going to get like that job or not. And in my last 3 job interviews, I've been observing very closely the body language of the interviewers, and all my expectations were correct. So I hope you are looking forward to this section as well. So the first very important thing you have to observe in observing part is micro expressions. Micro expressions are something that a lot of people are either don't trust or making them much bigger than they are, but they are definitely powerful signs of how the person is feeling. And when you are doing good on that job interview, you are going to see a lot of positive micro expressions, which is a genuine smile. That's the only micro expression that's positive, as a matter of fact. So when you are doing good on a job interview, you will see a lot of genuine smile. But when you are not doing good, when you are not suitable for that position, you will see negative micro expressions. And micro expressions like disgust, anger, fear. For example, I observed a fear when I was applying for a job in London. It was in a cafe, and I brought the CV in there, and they asked me whether I was looking for part-time, and I said no, I was looking for full-time. And the girl flashes a micro expression of fear, so I knew that I should not expect call from them, although they promised me they are gonna give me a call, and they didn't. So don't trust them, and observe micro expressions, because they are powerful in these instances. Because people who are interviewing for a job are very skilled at maintaining their stoic body languages, do not express a lot by their body, but there are some leaks that must be there because they are all still humans. The other tip is observe the enthusiasm of all outcome of that person, and you will feel that when the enthusiasm is rising, that you are doing good, and when that enthusiasm is decreasing, you know there is something wrong, and you should not probably expect call from them. And the last thing, which is very similar, which I've just listed, is the long-term observing of that person. When the baseline changed, like during the hour of job interview, and that person is more submissive, is more sad, it means that you are not doing that good. But when that person is more optimistic, more open, more dominant, it's probably because you are suitable for that position and you like them and they are excited for it. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you find it a little bit interesting, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me or just write comments below the video. Share the video, like the video, and do whatever you like with it. But I hope you've enjoyed that. Bye.